So first, I just want to start off, if you could, in your own words, describe what you do and who you are.
My name is Stingily, and I'm an artist, writer, a radio host. I usually just say artist and writer, because like when you put too many it's like, okay girl, we get it. Like, you do a lot.
Like in Instagram bios, when it's like slash, I'm this, I'm that, slash, I'm that, slash.
Lover,
yeah.
Friend, lover, artist, sister, model, activist, humanitarian. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
I'm a lot of those things I can get.
Well, yeah, I actually wanted to ask about your interdisciplinary practice as a writer and an artist. I know you started off as a writer, and then your first solo show was at Egg in Chicago, mm-hmm. where you're from. And I'm curious about the transition from writing to visual art, and when and how that started to happen.
It happened with Egg Gallery because they're the first ones that gave me an opportunity to do it. It's actually, for me, I think it's easier to write and then make a piece. I just didn't really consider myself an artist because I was ignorant to think that you had to go to art school in order to be an artist. That was what I thought at the time.
So the A Gallery really propelled your visual art?
Because once that happened, Queer Thoughts asked me to do a show, mm-hmm. like a group show, and then a solo show, and then that led to like the Ramekin show.
Well, that's really interesting to hear that your writing informs your visual practice, and that they aren't, you don't see them as two separate things. Like, what are the challenges that come with each of those mediums?
I think writing is hard because you're sharing a piece of yourself, whether it's fictional or not, and there's a vulnerability to writing. I think most writers are very sensitive people, low-key. Mm-hmm. No matter how like tough they come across, they're really sensitive. So being a writer, you're kind of emo. So I think that helps to be an artist, because mm-hmm. artists are like seeing kids mm-hmm. that never really quite grew up.
I know that you have been having a lot going on recently. I mean, you've had several solo shows over the past years at Egg and Ramekin Crucible and Queer Thoughts, and group shows at museums, most recently the New Museum, and you just had your first solo show at ICA. It's like, it seems like so much has been going on for you the past 2 years, and after having moved to New York, it seems like things have really, your career has been blossoming so much. So I'm wondering how your life has changed over the past 2 years or so.
I feel like maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I was a lot more, I feel like I'm a little bit more guarded now with my time. Mm-hmm. A little bit more tougher than what I was when I first moved to New York. Focused on me coming first, my mental health, reading a lot more, and just understanding that my time is precious. And I think about time a lot because my artwork deals with the past and present and how that affects my future and me as an adult. And I think as I get older and progress into what I hope to be a longer art career and all that, I just want to make sure I'm a mentally healthy adult first, mm-hmm. and I'm setting boundaries with people, and also people that I love, because I think sometimes people think unconditional love is you not having boundaries, because my whole thing is it's deep, but it's not that deep. Mm. Things can be deep, but it's always not that deep, and to remember that I come first before anybody. That's how I change.
That's a really good
That's
thing.
how I grown. Mm-hmm. People want your time, or just being a Black woman in the art world feeling like tokenized or feeling like your voice isn't valid unless it is agreeing with something that someone has to say already. You know what I mean? Like, oh, now we need your voice because you agree with what we're saying, and it's just like, that's not fair either. I think the art world can be very unfair, and like people feel like they have to compromise themselves. And keeping it cute too, trying not to get too petty with folks and things like that, because we only getting older, and I want to look back on my time and really be like, you handled that well.
Like, what self-care and preservation methods do you use in order to keep yourself, you know, mentally sane and take care of yourself?
People think meditating is hard. It's like you just gotta sit down with yourself and really process your emotions and go through the shit for a minute. And I also read a lot of self-help books. Dealing with childhood trauma, I think a lot of people have childhood trauma that they don't address, and they just put so much shit on other people instead of just dealing with what they need to deal with. Reminding myself that I'm a good person and I deserve like all the good things that are happening in my life, and also allowing myself to cry and things like that. I don't really think a lot of people in general, it's a very like, we look at crying as a vulnerable thing, but I also look at crying as to show that you're processing what's going on and you're hurt, and it's okay to hurt for a little bit, but you do gotta get it together. It's just like, I don't do reckless shit no more. I'm not in the trap like that. Yeah, I don't trap like that no more. So I think sometimes people think self-care is you spending like $30-something on a tube of lipstick, but it's not. That's just being cute. Just really trying to like make sure my body and my mind is right.
I know, I feel like it takes a while until you get to a certain age to realize that you haven't been taking care of yourself. You need to get to a certain place to change your thinking. So for the last segment, we play Fuck, Marry, Kill. I have 3 writers that you can choose to do what you wish. Okay. And they are Ayn Rand, Toni Morrison, and Ernest Hemingway.
I would kill Hemingway, but I would fuck him first. I would fuck him without telling nobody, and then I would kill him, so he gotta go. I'm an overweight man. That, you know? Yeah. But same. Holler at me though if you're not scared. You feel me? And then I would marry Toni. She would break my heart. I would fuck, oh boy.
Ayn Rand.
Yeah, this was a harsh game, because if someone said they would kill me, I would be like, what? Kill just means we don't talk no more. So I don't talk to Hemingway no more.
Exactly. Yeah. So
that was a one-time thing, and I deny it all damn day. When people are like, did you? And I'm like, no. No. Like, I had a TV show for a while on my Instagram story where like I was an alien, and I was also in a relationship with John Malkovich, but I had my ex-husband was Young Thug, and I had an affair with Michael Pitt.